What is going on, everyone? Now, let me make this disclaimer. Originally, today, I was going to upload the story of The Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar from SummerSlam 2015, but I'm actually going to push the video back probably later this week or next week, which is SummerSlam week. I got a lot of content coming out SummerSlam week. So the video will be released, but it won't be like released today. I was gonna release it today, but the reason why I'm not gonna release the video today is because I wanted to talk a little bit of a big topic that's been going on in the wrestling community for the past weekend. So I'm just gonna talk about that and say my piece and then get up on out of here. But NXT, it has not been a not so good weekend for NXT fans. Just very bad. I mean, the releases that were released this past Friday night on SmackDown were just insane. A lot of people were shooken up. A lot of people were shocked. A lot of people were just like confused, angry, all that stuff. And not just the releases, but I don't know if anyone knows this, but this past week on NXT TV, they drew 520,000 viewers. This is an all-time low for NXT in viewership. Not just since moving to Tuesday nights, not just since, moving, from AEW on the same night that AEW was, but since they came on the USA Network. Well, granted, this is on the Sci-Fi, but still, ever since moving to Tuesdays, this was their lowest rating ever. And like I said, just not a good week for NXT, not a great weekend for NXT. And now you're hearing reports talking about how NXT is doing a whole completely revamp. Like, they're going all 2012 again. Remember? Because back in the day, NXT used to be a reality TV show, and then in 2012, they completely revamped. That's what they're doing now, it feels like, what people are saying. They're talking about how NXT, Vince and then I guess wants to go, NXT wants to move away from these smaller guys and, move to this style of big man, young, big man, muscular guys in NXT. So I guess apparently, reportedly, that's how they want to do business. And people are talking about how Triple H and Shawn and the NXT crew, they can't do nothing about it. Like, they have no matter in the say. So it's like, I guess Triple H has no control over his own damn creation. It's insane, man. And that's why I'm making this video today, man. Because what happened to NXT? Because I remember back in the day, 2014, 2015, 2016, 17, I was hearing the same stuff about how NXT is the main roster. NXT is better than the main roster. NXT is the main roster. NXT TakeOver is the greatest pay-per-view, in wrestling and stuff like that. Like, you guys remember NXT TakeOver Dallas? People were saying about how that pay-per-view was way better than WrestleMania 32. About how, you got Nakamura, Zayn, Kevin Owens, Gargano, Ciampa, DIY, AOP, the Four Horsewomen, Asuka, Ember Moon, all these wrestlers, they're stars compared to what we have on the main roster and stuff. But over the past year, since 2020, the pandemic, NXT has gone down a lot. Like, they have gone down a lot. A lot of people have been tuning out of NXT. They don't care about NXT no more. They just don't care anymore. Now, granted, the takeovers are still goated. People still love the takeovers. And this upcoming takeover seems like it's gonna look cool. But overall, people just don't care about the product no more, and it just makes you wonder what happened to NXT. And that's the reason for this video today. I want to give a few points of my idea on why I think NXT has gone down. And one of the main reasons, like I just mentioned, was the pandemic. The pandemic, just came in and it took everybody out, But with, the other wrestling companies like AEW, you still had Daily's Place and, WWE, the Performance Center. But NXT, I mean, with the way they were shaped, it was like nothing. You know what I mean? Like it was just drawn out. It was just like nothing. So the pandemic really ruined NXT. And then, granted, when they, I guess, picked up a little bit of steam from the pandemic, they moved into the CWC, and then people still were like, I don't really like the CWC and stuff like that. So I really think that the pandemic had a big issue, and it really suffered. I think NXT really suffered a lot from the pandemic. I really think so. And then another thing, I think that a lot of the stuff in NXT got a little stale. A lot of the wrestlers were there for too long. Like they shouldn't have been there. Like they should have been on the main roster by this point. But then again, we know how, I guess, knowing how Vince does his stuff, they go to the main roster. They're not going to be, treated like stars and stuff like that. So, yeah. Another main problem that I feel like's been with NXT is that there's not a lot of people on NXT that stands out. The one thing that I love about Cross, and I think a lot of people love about Cross on NXT, is that he immediately stands out. There's really nobody on this NXT roster that stands out. No one stands out. I mean, it's the same guy, in a different body, but they're doing the same movesets and stuff like that. Like, there's no character development. I mean, of course, you have to have characters. I mean, you can't just go out there and put on 5-star matches all the effing time. You have to have characters. That's why you got guys like Cross standing out and stuff like that. And NXT, they've been trying, a lot recently with these segments and stuff like that. But, NXT was just more about in the ring, like the in-ring aspect. And granted, that's good and all. I understand you're trying to make it sports-based, but there's really no point of making a pro wrestling show sports-based. You got to at least give some sort of entertainment. I mean, even AEW, they stated they're going to be, we're going to be sports-based. They had some entertaining sports entertainment into their stuff, like the MJF and Chris Jericho little singing duet. So, you got to have entertaining. It's a part of wrestling, it's a part of wrestling. So, because, hey, it is what it is. So, that's the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, this is just me talking about, what I feel like what happened with NXT. Yeah, man, I want to talk about it. It is what it is at the end of the day. I mean, it sucked for Triple H because it is his baby. And he thought Vince wasn't going to touch it. And now I guess Vince is touching it. He's getting his little razz and dazzle in it and stuff. But, yeah, man, it is what it is. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, man. Remember to subscribe to the channel, like for more content. If you have any video ideas, put them in the comment section. This has been the Kid, DC Wrestling. And so, yeah.